All right. We're back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday to talk about professional wrestling on the GSMC Sports Network. So yeah, let's get a move on. Just gonna reflect on what we talked about real quick. We had our WWE NXT review, our AEW Dynamite preview. We talked about it wasn't NXT. We talked about, Hulkamania. We talked about him earlier on. Um, we also talked about how Swerve Strickland's contract was hated by WWE, saying that Tony Khan, you overpay for your guys, bro. Now we have to live up to that standard. Why'd you have to do that, Tony? Why do you gotta be so rude, man? Why do you have to do that? So we talked about that in our third segment, and now we're gonna talk about our Wednesday's weekly wrestling news. So yeah, let's talk about some of the major headlines in terms of professional wrestling. And yeah, it's gonna be great. All right, first and foremost, we're gonna talk about the big bad Bronson Reed. Oh my God, this guy, jumped from a giant wall. Nobody could stop this guy. Nobody. He slammed Braun Strowman. The windows blew out inside that luxury. Was it convertible? No, it wasn't convertible. It was a sedan. I think it was a sedan. Sedan. Damn, what's wrong with me? Uh, someone who can stop. Something that could stop Bronson Reed and his rage. It's COVID-19. And I'm not trying to make a joke. Obviously, hope the best for his health endeavors. Hope he makes, he's going to come back to WWE. Like, you know what I mean? Everything's going to be all good. But when I didn't see him, I thought he got hurt because of the stunt. I thought that's exactly why we didn't see Bronson Reed. You saw Braun Strowman kind of come back with taped up ribs that took his spot for the Triple Threat Intercontinental Championship #1 contender match, which he wanted bad. He wanted so damn bad. And I don't even know the protocols for COVID-19 anymore. Maybe somebody can help me in the chat. If you get COVID-19, although you are vaccinated, do you still have to spend 2 weeks away? Are we going to see Bronson Reed take 2 weeks off? I'm not too sure. Could possibly happen. He's kind of stuck in that storyline where he's gone for 2 weeks. I feel like he's been building up all this momentum to kind of, have it being killed right now, but, you did have that stunt with Braun Strowman, so that's going to buy them a little time. So, overall, definitely praying for Bronson Reed's health right now. And, hope he, makes it, he's going to make it through. He's going to make it through. Like, it's so crazy how COVID is still upon us, guys. It started, oh my God, back in 2020. Oh my God, that was insane. Honestly, and I'm going to take I'm going to be, brief with this story here. But for me, COVID-19, the whole pandemic didn't really surface into my mind until I turned on WWE SmackDown and I saw Triple H come out in a stadium with no people in it. And that's when I was like, dude, what the hell's going on? Usually when something happens like that, somebody dies. And that's when I felt that feeling in my stomach. Because I heard everything. Obviously, I live in Southern California. There was the guy that was being held inside like an airport, a hospital, because they weren't too sure what he had, and he kept testing positive for this influenza. And it's so kind of crazy. It's kind of sad. Like, what does that say about me? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't take COVID-19 seriously until I saw Triple H come out and be like, look, this is a global pandemic. And I was like, yes, Triple H. I've seen on CNN, I've seen on Fox 11 News, I've seen people talking like health officials saying that this is a deadly virus. And I'm just there, I'm like, yes, Triple H. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Like, this is kind of crazy, but like, I had that feeling in my stomach, that sinking feeling that I was like, oh, like this is crazy. This is indeed crazy. Kind of a little fun fact about me. I'm not ignorant. I swear to God. I'm just obsessed with wrestling. All right. Next, we have Jojo Offerman, the fiance of Bray Wyatt, shares her thoughts and feelings about the Wyatt Sicks. And she says it's a little bittersweet. And you can't really blame her. You're kind of seeing what Bray envisioned on TV. You see his brother. You're basically watching Bray every single Monday night. And, and she said she loves it. She loves that Wyndham Rotunda's legacy is still living through WWE. And that's why I feel I want WWE to do this right. So far, I feel like I'm still 50-50 with this whole Wyatt Six thing. Starting off attacking Chad Gable and his new mates. I mean, I guess to kind of get them started. Obviously, you haven't had Bo Dallas within a wrestling ring for a long time, so maybe it's nice. It's a nice little warm up. You know what I mean? It's a nice little tag back. But overall, when you had the Wyatt family with Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt, and damn it, who is that other guy that I'm missing? Oh, I'm the worst wrestling fan in the world. But then we saw these guys come out. They targeted John Cena immediately. Like immediately. It was crazy. Overall, it was crazy as hell. Braun Strowman. Damn it, I knew it. I was like, who's that other guy? Braun Strowman. I knew it. But Jojo Offerman, thoughts and prayers are with, you and your kids. Obviously, Bray Wyatt's looking down on us. I feel like he's happy with what Bo Dallas is doing right now. Kind of creating this eerie feeling on Monday Night Raw. And I do believe this is going to take a lot of patience. And I do believe once when they make it to Netflix, it's going to get crazier. And right around the corner, you do have Halloween. You have Halloween. WWE loves to pander to, what is trending right now. A good example is, having the Unholy Union win at Clash at the Castle, having Mansoor win the Greatest Royal Rumble in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Also, in Canada, where you have, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn win matches. Not because of, I'm not trying to diminish their value because, oh, they only do that, But that's just how WWE is. You know what I mean? If you don't pick that up by now, you're not much of a wrestling fan. And with Halloween right around the corner in October happening, you're going to see some pretty scary stuff. I feel like it's only going to get better. After this Chad Gable feud, me personally, I wanted to see, and I know that this would never, ever, ever, ever happen because they're too fixated on this Civil War thing, which is cool as well. But imagine like Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tongaloa, and Tonga inside the ring. They're talking, all of a sudden you see the and the lights turn out, and then you see Uncle Howdy come out and talk to Solo Sikoa, be like, Solo, you have been this false prophet. Like, and it just gets so crazy, it gets so eerie. I feel like that'd be pretty badass. That's what I would love to see, but I don't know. I feel like that. I don't know. In my dreams, I guess, right? In my dreams. Next, we have Matt Cardona of course, the independent wrestling scene is willing to come back to WWE if and only if he can bring his own name. So we are no more focusing on the Zack Ryder, the woo woo woo. That's not him anymore. He's gonna come back as Matt Cardona. His smoking hot wife Chelsea Green is on WWE SmackDown. So I feel like it's right for him to come back to WWE at this moment. Right now on SmackDown, main event stars. Who do you have? Who do you have? Roman Reigns. I don't believe in Solo Sikoa. I'm sorry. Cody Rhodes. Kevin Owens. He's on the outside looking in. Two superstars. Two superstars that are looked at to be able to hold the WWE Undisputed Championship. I feel like if Matt Cardona comes back, he comes back from being absolutely on fire from the independent scene, like what you've seen with Cody Rhodes. He comes back and he starts handing belts to arses. That'd be so cool. I feel like it'd be great, be a nice poetic justice for him to come back and just start kicking ass. But will WWE do it? I know right now he's on TNA. He's on this smidge with PCO and Stephanie Lander. I feel like they're going to figure that out overall before, something happens. But I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But no, I'm wrong. Also, Randy Orton's coming back because he didn't win against Gunther on Raw. Who on Raw is a main event kind of guy? Like Gunther just got there. And I feel like he's still, on the cusp of being a main event. Damian Priest, I feel like he's always been that guy kind of on the outside looking in. CM Punk as well. I feel like CM Punk could be a main event kind of guy. I feel like WWE kind of does need a little revamp here. Like, you know what I mean? And imagine if they did sign Spur Strickland. You know what I mean? Like, if they did, that would have been great. I feel like he would have been great in WWE. But, no, I don't know. He fits so well in AEW. He is AEW. When I think of AEW, I don't think of Bryan Danielson. I don't give a crap about the EVPs. The Young Bucks kind of suck now that they did this whole stupid thing with, with Kazuchika Okada, and it's just Jack Perry. And it's not an indictment on their skills, but I just thought it was bad booking. That was terrible, terrible idea. He's the face of AEW. But Matt Cardona will come back to WWE if he gets to keep his name. All right, Odyssey Jones. Have you noticed that you didn't see Odyssey Jones on Monday Night Raw? You didn't see anything from the Final Testament, who was dying. Found this, little storyline between them and the New Day, and then it got cut short. And then they were building it back up, and then something bad happens, and they weren't even mentioned once on Monday Night Raw. This whole New Day splitting up thing, they're like, oh, shoot, let's scratch that. That's not going to happen anymore. Odyssey Jones has been removed from WWE TV due to a domestic violence allegations. Still allegations, not too sure, but still, WWE doesn't really like to, kind of get included with negative publicity. Like you saw when they released Rich Swann of WWE 205 Live when he was, I think he was the champion. No, he wasn't. No, maybe he was, but he was hot. He was absolutely on fire. And all of a sudden they erased him. They erased him off of WWE TV. And you're like, dude, what happened to Rich Swann? Although he was acquitted of his charges and they were, just allegations. Overall, anything negative, you're gonna get canned. Right? And it's kind of crazy. I feel kind of bad for Odyssey Jones, but it is what it is. Next, Adam Copeland of AEW, obviously that's Edge from WWE. Used to team up with Christian. Also, he used to be the leader of the Judgment Day, but was bounced out. He basically says that his leg is screwed. He's not too sure, when he will be back from leg injury. And if you did watch that match at Double or Nothing, that steel cage match between him and Aleister Black, and it looked ugly. It looked terrible. And, the landing was awful. Dude, like you can't take those jumps when you're that old. I'm sorry. Like I know you go to AEW to kind of explore this rebellious. I want a different perspective in terms of my career. I don't want to be remembered for my last stint with WWE. Teaming up with your fiance to take on, you know, take on who did they take on? The Miz and Maurice? Did they take on Miz? No, I think no. But I don't know. It was just a pain in the ass. It was just a pain in the ass. I think it was Rhea Ripley and not Dominic Mysterio. They weren't flirting at the moment. I think it was Finn Balor. I think he feuded with Finn Balor mostly. But I don't know. Ed should have been more careful. You're late in your career, man. You're not Superman anymore. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror, talk to yourself, and be like, "Look, I can't do this anymore, man. I can't do this. I wake up with back pain after I sneeze. Like, just kidding. No, I trip over a crack in the sidewalk and I stub my toe for like 5 days. Like, and it hurts. It's excruciating pain. Like, I'm just kidding. No, but no, actually, I'm not. As you get older, it's not that fun anymore. Like, you know what I mean? But you still gotta love life. Still gotta love life. All right, so Swerve Strickland, after he signed his awesome contract, he bought his childhood dream. He bought his childhood house when he was with his family. They foreclosed on it. They were forced to move out. His mother was absolutely devastated. Him as a young child, as a young man, couldn't really do much about it. And obviously, you kind of hold that baggage on the back. This whole promo that they had that they posted on Twitter/X was, it was heartwarming. It was definitely heartwarming. Definitely think this is going to be like a promo. I read it in, I think it was Wrestling.Inc. that like it would have been funny, not funny, but it would have been crazy if Hangman Adam Page came out of nowhere and bulldozed it down. That. But yeah, I don't know. This could be because the last time they were feuding, him and Hangman Adam Page, it was the other way around where you saw him invade Hangman Adam Page's home. Maybe, you have Swerve Strickland having dinner with his family, or with his grandfather and grandmother, and then you have Hangman Adam Page beat the hell out of him. That could happen too. But, overall, I'm just happy where Swerve is right now. I feel like he took a huge step up, took a lot of responsibility from AEW, from what Tony Khan overall kind of had on his plate. And I feel like he's done nothing but being successful. So 1,010%, I love that for Swerve Strickland. All right. So also we have TMZ notes that Nikki Bella, will now be back on the singles market. She is contacting lawyers for her divorce after this, domestic violence, allegation between her man, Artem, Chig, Figston. I can't even pronounce his name right. But you should bring back John Cena, dude. John Cena comes back and steals, Nikki Bella's heart. I'm just kidding. No, that's overall, like I said, it's this is a wrestling podcast, not too much of the trying to focus on more of the positive kind of aspect of it. But overall, it's hard. It's kind of hard to speak about this. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, our last story that you saw Monday Night Raw, much like I did. I was like, who is this guy? What is going on right now? No Corey Graves, no Michael Cole. You see this man right here, Joe Tessatori's debut on Monday Night Raw. According to WWE, it was really rocky, but it's a positive step in the right direction. He even told Jackie Redmond, I think it was, that he didn't think he did. He didn't think he did well. I thought he did great. I got to be honest. I loved it. Kind of reminded me of you usually, I love Michael Cole. I love Michael Cole 1,010%. He gets really into the matchups and I love it. But sometimes he kind of has that bias, although he does side with the baby faces. And now you're going to see Wade Barrett kind of be his partner heading into WWE Monday Night Raw going to Netflix. I kind of saw him, like, I got a little bit of a nostalgic feeling. And, I don't know if I'm too high on this guy. I don't know if I am. But it kind of reminded me of once when you saw, somebody like Michael Hayes standing behind there. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe like, in the early 90s, Bobby the Brain Heenan or, Vince McMahon even once when he was actually cool. Uh, now he's not, we don't mention him on this podcast anymore. You don't mention him. We don't talk. I'm just kidding. But I thought he did great. I love that direction that they're kind of heading into with him teaming up with Wade Barrett. It just kind of shocks me that you want to see Michael Cole kind of take over the reins of Monday Night Raw. I'm so shocked for that. That kind of makes me think that maybe you're going to see a lot of the talent move from SmackDown to Raw. And then, obviously with Michael Cole's voice, you can make any superstar like the biggest, grandest stage of them all. So I definitely think Monday Night Raw is going toward, kind of like it's kind of crazy because I feel like I'm talking like an NFL team, kind of going toward like a rebuild, because right now it needs a lot of work, especially in the women's division. Within the women's division, it needs a lot of work. Monday Night, what do you have? Just Drew McIntyre cutting a promo, CM Punk attacks him, CM Punk cutting a promo. Guess what? Drew McIntyre attacks him and wash, rinse, and repeat over and over and over and over again. It's just, Gunther's the champion. I like it. I respect Gunther as a WWE superstar, but overall, you know, I, I, there's not really that big superstar that like that whoa and that wow superstar. Whenever he walks through that curtain, you're like, damn. Like, there's no Roman Reigns. There's no Roman Reigns. There's no, that back in the day feeling with whenever you saw the Undertaker come through the curtain or Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Batista. It's not the same anymore. It's kind of crazy. But overall, I loved Joe Tessatori's debut on Monday Night Raw. I definitely agree with WWE thinking it is the right step and a positive step in the right direction. All right, guys. So hey, that was it. That's it for me today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network here in the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010% of the time. Although we do love feedback. Feedback is a gift. Follow us on Twitter /X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for more content and updates. And like I always say, if I haven't made you a wrestling fan by now, we got my boy Emran's GSMC Soccer Podcast starting in about 14 minutes. We also got Tommy with college football. We also have, Nelson with the GSMC Basketball Podcast. We got Fantasy Sports with my boy Chris Shepard. Find out your stardoms, your draftums, your situms, who you should bet on the NFL. Tune into his show, and I guarantee you, he will help you be successful and, win a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, but then I don't overall want you guys to hold him accountable. Be like, hey, like, the guy from the wrestling podcast said, you can win us some money, that bastard. I'm just kidding. No, but overall, it's a great podcast. It's an amazing podcast. It's really fun. I listened to it a couple of times and you get a lot of comments and people, it's just fun. People just have a lot of fun talking about fantasy. When football, the NFL starts on Thursday. Tomorrow, we got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs on NBC Peacock, and Patrick Mahomes is going to be live. Make sure you find out all the news about your football teams on the GSMC Football Podcast with my boy Kenneth, or the Chip Shot Football Podcast with my boy Manny. We also have Sports by GSMC with Jeremy. We got the GSMC Sports Podcast with TJ. And we just got a bunch of sports, a lot of people that are passionate about professional sports. I love these guys, 1,010%. I watch, learn from them, become a better podcaster. It's always good to kind of take an outside looking in perspective. You know what I mean? Sometimes it gets a little troublesome watching Stephen A. Smith, watching, Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd and Jason McIntyre. But although I do love those guys, But, well, guys, that's it for me. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Stay beautiful, but most importantly, love you.